So the Battlefield 6 beta has ended more than a week ago, and even though I hadn't had as much time to play as I wished I would, I still had a good time, and I gotta be honest, I already miss it. What kind of... What the...
I'm just gonna... drop it. No way! There is no way I killed someone.
The things I like the most about Battlefield 6 are the gunplay that feels heavier and more punchy than it did in 2042. It's the movement that brings back some of the features from Battlefield 5, like the combat roll, the crouch sprint, or the ability to lay on the back while shooting, but it's slower and more focused on being a tool to move across the map instead of being a skill in a gunfight that can also be abused. I like that they brought back a more defined class system again, even though it still needs some balancing and is, in my opinion, not fully there yet. And I also love the atmosphere of the maps. It really gives me Battlefield 1 vibes again and is a massive improvement compared to the lackluster sanitized maps that Battlefield 2042 was released with. And of course, I love the destruction. I love to blow up houses and bring down the front of buildings, break through walls and ceilings to surprise the enemy, get that camper out of the hideout on the second floor with a well-placed launcher shot, or say hello to the neighbors' cars with my brand new tank. But of course, not everything about Battlefield 6 is perfect, and we need to talk about this as well. For example, about the complete absence of footstep audio, with full squads of enemies surprising you around a corner and none of them made a single sound. Or the overpowered assault class with the ability to carry 2 primary weapons and 2 grenade launchers. Now, the double launcher system might not make it into the full release, same for the double rocket launchers of the engineer class, but the double primaries seem to stay, and this is a feature that no class should have. And I think the beta showed this pretty clear with the problems around the shotgun, because even though it is slightly overpowered itself, especially with the slug ammunition, the reason for the massive use of the shotgun was not its good performance, but the fact that players could simply equip it as a second primary weapon, and that's what made it so attractive. If they would have had to choose between an assault rifle or the shotgun, most players would have not used the shotgun at all. But with the weapon sling, you can run around like a one-man army superhero and be equipped for any gunfight on any range. Combine this with the terrible thermobaric launcher that does not only let you go up in flames and burn to death, but also reduces your movement speed down to a minimum, and it's a perfect recipe for player frustration, at least on the receiving end. And I honestly doubt that moving the spawn beacon to the assault class will be much of help here, because it only feels like a half-baked solution. On one hand, it doesn't really give the assault class team play abilities, because if you don't want to equip the beacon, you simply don't do it. And on the other hand, it also doesn't solve the problem with snipers camping at the edge of the map with their personal spawn beacon on their side. Because with the open weapon system, assault can use sniper rifles as well, so what would keep an assault player from camping at the edge of the map? But the assault class is not the only one that needs work, because while engineer and support are already close to what they should be, the sniper or recon class is not. Automatic spotting that marks enemies simply by looking at them should not be a thing at all. The sweet spot mechanic where one hit to the chest is fatal within a certain range should have also been a thing of the past, and they should have simply kept it within Battlefield 1 and not dig it up again for Battlefield 6, because it never really feels fair and also not like sniping requires a certain skill. And this also applies to the fatal sniper headshots that can be unlocked as a part of the training path. These are not only frustrating for the receiving player, but also for its whole team, especially in modes where one team has a limited ticket count, for example Breakthrough or Rush. In these modes, medics try to keep their team alive as good as possible, because with every revive, a ticket is returned to their favor. But a fatal sniper headshot doesn't allow you to be revived and instantly sends you back to the deploy screen. And this kind of eliminates a part of the team play aspect Battlefield should have. Not even talking about how hard it is for the attacking team to get a foothold on an objective if they're facing a full defending team of snipers, all equipped with the ability of fatal headshots. One thing I have to bring up in favor of the snipers though is the massive scope glint. This is definitely far too much. Additionally, there are other things the devs need to fix, like the terrible hit reg and the massive time to kill, time to death difference. Also that you're getting pulled back into explosions if you're somewhat within the area of effect. Plus, it's really hard to actually identify grenades when they're close to you, and at least personally I'm not a big fan of that red grenade icon, because it makes it impossible to see what kind of grenade is actually being thrown your way. And what I really miss is the ability to return grenades to their sender. This was such a useful feature in Battlefield 5 and 2042, and I have no idea why it's suddenly gone. And one last point, at least on my list, is the weapon upgrade system. This is not bad in general, but it still needs fine-tuning, because sometimes attachments have the same stats but come at different costs, and then there's no point in choosing the more expensive one. Or some attachments don't have any downsides, so why would I even equip anything else than these attachments? Same goes for the different ammunition types. Two of them have a higher headshot multiplier than others. Why would I even equip anything else than these two ammunition types? In my opinion, none of them should increase the headshot multiplier, but they should at least not do it without having any downside. Maybe if the headshot multiplier is increased, then the body shot multiplier is lower than usual, so you trade it in for something else. And what I also noticed is that sniper optics again have no hint if they produce scope glint or not, and that the suppressors again have no description how they work. In Battlefield 2042 it took forever for DICE to get this kind of information into the game and into the description of these attachments, so let's hope we will get it right from the start this time and not only as part of an update several months later. But of course, some of these things are already being worked on. In a recent community update, the devs shared that they're looking into the shotgun issue and its pellet spread, that the time to kill and time to death difference is being investigated, that the movement is being refined alongside the weapon handling and recall, that rooftop areas on some maps will be made inaccessible, which was really annoying in the beta, especially on the Cairo map, and that they are also looking into further balancing the maps and modes. So the teams are actively working on improving this game and ironing out the edges for release. And overall, I gotta say that the Battlefield Studios did a good job with this game. They seem to learn from the mistakes of the past, especially from 2042, and seem to be committed to delivering something great again, and a game that really deserves the name Battlefield. And during the beta, it was not only a relief for me to finally have fun playing Battlefield again, but it was also amazing to look around on YouTube, Twitch, and other social media platforms and watch others have fun playing Battlefield. So hopefully for the next few weeks, the devs focus on polishing, refining, and balancing the game so that this time around we can finally break with the tradition of messed up Battlefield launches and instead get a game that is playable and enjoyable right from the start. And that was it for today, just my 2 cents to Battlefield 6 and the state we've seen during its beta. As always, I'm interested in reading your opinions in the comments below, and if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. I'm the Catwoman, and you are awesome.